it's Gib Ruffie on the Gib Ruffie YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel and you've never met me before, I'm Gib Ruffie and I'm a lifestyle blogger and YouTuber. And I do just about the same thing that any other lifestyle blogger would do on here. And I tell stories or funny, and I do shopping hauls and all kind of stuff. So welcome to the channel if this is your first time. If you're one of my regular subscribers, welcome back. And I know that y'all been waiting on this part of my story. For those of you that don't know, I've been trying to tell people how I got through life as a nurse, being afraid of dead people. If you missed part 1 and 2, they're being linked down below, so you'll be able to go down below this video and click on the link and miss the parts that you missed. So I'm going to just jump right on in here and tell these stories. The first story I promised y'all I was going to tell y'all about my sister. Now my sister, she saw me being a nurse, and she saw I was doing good. I was making good money and picking my own shifts and doing all the things I wanted to do. She said, well, shoot, Gibbie, if you can do it, I know I can do it. And I said, I don't know, Bobby Joe. I said, it ain't as easy as what you think it is. And I said, you know, maybe you want to start out slow. So I talked her into just getting her STNA certificate to be a nursing assistant. And I said, that way you can give it a try. And if you like it, then you can go into nursing school. So she said, okay. So she went on, took the classes, and she did good, yeah. And she, you know, she got her certificate. So I asked the people at my job, can people in the same family work here? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, my sister took your program and got her STNA, which is State Tested Nursing Assistant certificate. So they said, yeah, we'll give her a chance, and we're looking for some workers. So anyway, they hired her, and I'm going to tell you right now before I even get started, her little STNA nursing assistant career didn't last long. She didn't even make it 2 weeks. She didn't even make it to get her first paycheck, but I'm going to tell you what happened. So she was working up on the 2nd floor, and I was working down on the 1st floor. And about the 2nd week that she was there, one of the patients passed away on her unit. And so the coroner come, and I think because she was new, she had a little bit of help, but then the help had to leave. And then the coroner come, and they put the body on the gurney and was trying to take them out the building. So they asked Bobby Joe if she could work the elevator buttons for him. And so she was all nervous. She was all shook up. And so one of the nurses called me and said, Gibbie, said, you better get up here because Bobby Joe don't look too good. Said, I'm worried about her. So I come up the back steps, and I just stood back and watched. I didn't let her know I was up there because I didn't want her fussing and carrying on. What you doing up there looking at me? So I just stood back in the corner, and I'd watch, see what was going on. So the other little girl was helping her. She had leads. So the people that was taking the body out of the building, how they was getting in the elevator, they couldn't reach the buttons. So they asked Bobby Joe, and they said, well, can you get the buttons? And she said, no, sir. And they said, well, it's just right. She said, no, sir. So then one other person said, Bobby Joe, you can't reach over and hit the button. And so she hit that button, and then they said, well, ma'am, can you just ride down in the elevator with us? And then when you get down there and hit the buttons for us, then you can go and we'll be all right by then. So she looked around, wasn't nobody else, so she didn't want nobody to notice. She didn't want to get in there, but she went ahead and she got in the elevator with them. So I saw her face, and she didn't look too good at all. So I hear you up, and I ran down the steps, and I wanted to be down there when the elevator got down there. So I looked up, and I saw the light to the 2nd floor go out, and then the light on the 1st floor, that number 1 lit up. But before them doors could open up, I heard somebody hollering and screaming, oh, get me out of here! And then Oh my goodness. So the man said, ma'am, we're sorry. He said, we didn't have no way of knowing, but that body sits straight up. Sometimes they do that. They move something in them, you know, that last jolt electricity. So anyway, the supervisor came and said, what's going on? And I told her about Bobby Jones. I said, I didn't think she was afraid like I was. Supervisor laughed, said, it must run in the family. And I said, maybe it does. So anyway, I called to have, my house was closer than Bobby Jones, and I thought, well, because she had a key, and I thought maybe she done ran down the street to my house, and I called there with no answer, and I said, well, let me call her house, because she didn't take her purse or nothing. And so I couldn't reach her, and the supervisor said, well, you think she's coming back? And I said, I don't know. So finally, I kept calling, and she answered the phone, and I said, well, Bobby Joe, I said, they told me, well, she said, I don't care about nothing, but nobody else is saying, I ain't coming back. And I said, well, you can't just walk out your job like that. And I said, you got to come back and tell these people something. I said, you just need to calm down. And I said, you left your purse here, your lunch is here. She said, I don't want my purse. I don't want that lunch. And I'm not going to be no nursing assistant no more. She said, I'm done. I quit. And I said, well, I said, you got to tell these people. I said, this is my job. I said, they gave you a chance. You got to come talk to you. I ain't come talk to nobody. So anyway, the supervisor said maybe she just needs a couple days to calm down. So after that, they called her. She wouldn't even take their calls. So I told her, I said, are you going to go back in there? And the supervisor was so nice. She went to Bobby Joe's house and tried to calm her down, sit down and talk to her. Boy, she couldn't get nowhere with her. I didn't know. She'd been laughing at me all this time. Here she was more frightened than I was. So anyway, that's the end of my sister's career doing anything in the medical field. She doesn't even want to file medical records. Said she didn't want to know office nowhere around that place. So she didn't come back, and she quit, and she got her little pay. It was her first and her last pay. She didn't stay but about 2 weeks. So that's the end of that story. That's what happened with my sister. I swear I didn't know that girl could run like that, but I won't doubt how fast she can run now, because I seen that for myself. I couldn't even catch her. So anyway, that's the end of that part. So I'm going to share this part with y'all about when I finally had to face my first person passing away on me. Now I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you ever met a person that's so sweet and so pure, and their heart's just good as gold. And when you're in their presence, you can feel the goodness. That's who this lady was, this particular patient. She was in her late 90s, I believe. But anyway, she was getting close, to passing away. It was her time, and we could tell by all the things that was going on. So one day I was at work, and her daughter come running down the hall, said, oh, Gibbie, come, you got to help. I'm not ready for Mom to go. And so I went down there mostly to console her daughter, because there really wasn't nothing too much we could do other than comfort measures. So anyway, the patient was sitting up this way, and I was turned this way, and the daughter was right here, and I was sitting on a little stool by the bed. And so I had her, her hand, the patient's hand in my hand, because I was really sad, but so anyway, I was trying to, just console the daughter, and I said, well, let me check your mom's, oxygen level. So I put the little pulse ox machine on her finger, and boy, them numbers didn't look good at all. And I said, is this machine working? I thought the machine was malfunctioning. And then I put it on my finger, and the numbers was just fine. And I said, oh boy, this must be it. This ain't good. So, but anyway, I said, I got to be here for her daughter, because she would want me to. Don't have her daughter sitting there all upset by herself. So anyway, I was just sitting there, just talking to the daughter. And about that time, the nurse that actually was working that unit come in the room, and she said, Gibbie, she said, I need you for a minute. And I didn't turn around or look or nothing because I was talking to the daughter, and I just put my finger up like that, and I said, hold on. And she said, Gibbie, I need to talk to you. Because this nurse had worked with me for 2 years, so she already knew I had a problem. So she didn't want to say what the problem was. And so I just stuck my finger up again, and I said, hold on. So finally, about that time, she said, Gibbie, she's gone. And I froze. And I took a deep breath because I know I didn't want to pass out because I'm bad about that. But I looked down and I had this patient's hand in my hand. And I tell you what, I didn't feel fear. All of a sudden, from the top of my head down through my body, I felt like I was overcome with peace, but most of all, love. I felt like all this woman's love was going through my body. And I tell you, I never felt nothing like that before in my life. And I sit there, I wasn't afraid, but I ain't quite over that fear. But I looked down and her hand was still in my hand, so I laid it gently down on the bed. And I went ahead and let the nurse come in, and I hugged her daughter, and I told her I was sorry. And I went on to my unit to do what I needed to do. But I tell you what, that night when I got home, and was laying down in my bed, and I said, you know what? That was nothing but God. How is it that the one thing in this world that I'm the most afraid of, my greatest fear, I would have to deal with for the first time with the most loving, peaceful soul passing away with her hand in mine? And I said, that's a gift. That's a gift from God. And I said, I'll never forget it, and I'll never forget her sweet spirit. But I hope y'all enjoyed this story, because I like to share stories that are like that. Because sometimes the world gets crazy, life gets crazy, and it just feels good to remember that there are miracles that still happen, and there's still love that still comes around. So if you like this story, that's going to be the end of mine, and that's the end of how I got to deal with that. You can hit like down below if you haven't subscribed to my channel, especially if you're brand new. Hit the subscribe button, and that way when I get on here and do more videos, you'll get notified and you can come on here and watch. But I'd love to have y'all come back, but I tell you what, that's about it today, because I'm just feeling just a little bit emotional on that. Gibbie's got a big old heart of gold, and I hope y'all do too. So thanks for watching again, and stay tuned, subscribe, hit the silver button, and come back and watch some more of Gib Ruffie. Thank you so much. Bye.